Your financial needs aren't independent of each other, so your financial advisors shouldn't be either. At Mercantile Bank, our experienced United Wealth professionals are united to serve you and your complete financial planning and wealth management needs. Are you just starting your investment journey or need to roll over a retirement plan? Do you need to plan for a loved one with special needs or for your own life after work? Maybe your business needs a succession plan or you want to enhance your employee benefit programs. Whatever steps you need to take, our United Wealth experts are ready to take them with you. Together, we are united.
Hi, this is Ron Kinscherf, and this is a Business Spotlight brought to you by Mercantile Bank and Rober and Phillips Attorneys at Law. And we are joined by Stephanie Haskins today with Love Me Photography. How'd you get to Love Me Photography? Loves Me Photography.
Loves Me. Yeah, that's fine. So I had a mother-in-law whose name was Daisy.
Oh.
And I loved her. I loved her so much. She passed away, unfortunately, but her name Daisy was kind of like the namesake. So you always say loves me, not with photography or with the flowers.
Right.
And I didn't want to say loves me, not photography, because that's just weird.
Right.
So I went with loves me.
So did she have any influence on you with your photography or anything like that? Or just,
no,
you
just
had
personally.
That
She was
had
just
that
a
relationship?
wonderful person.
So you went to school for graphic design, correct?
Yes.
So when you take classes in graphic design at school, is photography a big part of that?
Actually, it's not at all.
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
So graphic design is literally just the computer part of
Right.
it. I went to Western, so they just do, they do them separately. So my minor had to be in something that had to do with the arts.
Okay.
So I have a bachelor's in graphic communications is what they called
Okay.
it. And then I had to do fine art for my minor, so that put the art with the computer. So I got the tech mixed with the art.
And a part of those art classes was photography, I'm assuming then, right? Or did you just pick all this up on your own?
So the photography part came later. I was always just graphic design motivated. So anything that was arts and computer, I did for
So you
a
self-taught?
long time. With photography part, yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so but growing up, were you the type of kid that was grabbing your mom and dad's cameras and taking pictures of bugs and stuff like that? Or,
No.
Or was this a late interest for you?
It was actually, the photography part really did come later. I was always interested in art. So I always I wanted to be a teacher, then I wanted to be an art teacher, then I wanted to be the computer art teacher.
Okay.
Then I just dropped the teacher and did computer art.
Okay, got it.
But but I've always been art focused. So the photography came later. I had a friend in 2010 ask me to do a photo shoot of her trashing her wedding dress.
Oh my, okay.
So
you were the photographer trashing, okay.
So I took photos of her while she stood in a pond, laid in the dirt, climbed in a corncob pile, and we basically ruined her wedding dress. And then I did some artwork or some computer digitally enhancing grunge work, changed it all up. And then sent them out, and we shared them on Facebook, and then people started asking me to do photos.
Are you serious? Just based on that?
Just based on that.
So, okay, so camera work right now. I took photography way back in the black and white days with black and white cameras and stuff like that. So there was so much emphasis on f-stops and apertures and all that type of stuff. And now with the world of digital cameras, is there still a big focus on that type of stuff? And if so, you had to teach yourself all that.
I did have to teach myself all that. So shooting in manual is really important. So knowing your f-stop, knowing your aperture, knowing your ISO so that you can do it correctly in camera, because otherwise you're going to be doing a lot of work post. You want to do all of that the best of your abilities in camera, so you don't have to do so much editing. Okay,
so why is that why it's important to get rid of the post stuff?
I mean, unless you want to sit for hours in front of your computer.
But so what do you get manually that you don't get just using the automatic settings on the camera? Because those turn out pretty good.
I mean,
do
they?
No, I guess, well, as a professional, they probably don't, Stephanie. But that's why I'm asking, so people will hire you.
Yes. Well, you can adjust how bright your image is or how dark your image is. Because the darker you shoot, if you shoot in what we call raw, we're able to pull out so much from there. So I typically shoot a little darker, and then I pull out all the color and all of the beauty of fall right now. If you shoot really bright, some photographers are light and airy, then they can, manually adjust all of that afterwards. But using all of those techniques in your camera is just super important.
So how long have you been doing this?
Since 2010, actually.
So professionally, how long? Since 2010 or?
Well, I became a legitimate business in 2017.
So why'd you decide to put up your own shingle and do this on your own? You have kids, so
I
that
was
might
starting
have been a
to
problem.
make a little bit more money than
Okay.
I didn't. I thought it was important to
Okay.
become legitimate.
But also, you can make your own schedule now. I assume that's important because you have little ones.
Well, I became a legitimate business in 2017, but I didn't do it full time until 2020, which was a great year to decide to do a business.
COVID, yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I decided that that was the year I was going to start. And then, unfortunately, the first part of that year was not grand.
Right.
But the second half was perfectly fine. You could do a lot outdoors separately.
So when you look at the stuff you did 5 years ago, I guess 7 years ago now, compared to what you're doing now, do you look at it and go, my gosh, that stuff's really bad?
I see the growth for sure, yes.
you really?
I think
So-
a lot of photographers could say that too, though.
So what area do you see growth in specifically?
Specifically in newborns.
Why?
So-
Okay, that's funny because they don't. Why?
Well, first of all, I never shot newborns until I had my own child. I felt much more confident,
Okay.
I think, with that. The handling of a baby. I also went to workshops. So I went to Florida.
But they're just
did a
laying there.
workshop. They're not just, I mean, they are, yes. But also the trick is you have to keep them sleeping while you're pretty much manhandling them.
Okay.
Constantly.
So there's a trick to that?
Oh yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
I guess,
yeah.
okay.
There's lots of, and all the tiny little things for them, it's all very expensive.
Okay. So the one thing I was going to ask you about that kind of leads into this is family pictures. You do a lot of family stuff, right?
So yeah, my focus is on families.
Right.
So group families, extended families, milestones for children and newborns. Yeah.
Okay, so how difficult is it to get, let's say, a family of 5, mommy and daddy, and 3 kids, to get the 3 kids looking at you at the same time and take the picture? That's got to be impossible.
It definitely depends on the age for sure.
Okay.
So if you give me 3 teenagers, we're done pretty quickly.
Right.
But if you give me 3 children under 4, it will take time. Yeah, absolutely.
But is there tricks?
Oh, you have to act like a goofball. And
Which
I'm really
obviously you're really good.
I'm really good at
Having
that.
known
Yes.
you for as long as I, yes, you are definitely that.
So I have to tell the parents, just look at me and smile, and I'm going to be crazy for a few minutes, and I will sing, Wheels on the Bus, and I will dance
Okay.
around, and I'll do whatever I can to make your kids laugh talking about, boogers and.
One thing you do too is maternity, and what I want to ask you about this is when women are expecting, and this is an impression I got, and I may be completely wrong, they don't feel good about how they look. So is that a challenge for you in order to get the pictures? You know what I'm saying?
You're right, and especially if they've
Got one
had,
right, I got one right.
especially if they've had multiple children,
Right.
because they feel like they're really tired and really
Mm-hmm.
exhausted. But the key to that is the time in which you do their maternity photos. So
Okay.
I focus on shooting them around 32 weeks, so they're not super big and they're not like really tired and they don't want to walk. I mean, I've been pregnant, and I know that
Right.
after a certain point, you kind of hit a wall and you're just like, I don't want to leave my house. So,
Right.
but at 32 weeks, you're showing, you have a really pretty glow, and you're a little bit more excited about where you're headed. So 32 weeks is like a nice prime
Are
spot.
you finding that's becoming more popular, that people want photos of themselves while they're
pregnant?
While they're pregnant?
Yes. Yeah, I have lots of maternity clients. They're wonderful.
Okay.
I love capturing that moment for them, because some of them, it's like their last child, and they really want to make sure that this is the moment they capture.
Do you get teary ever?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought-
Especially when it's like the little kids and mom, because those are really super sweet moments.
Are you a pain like at Christmas time? Like you go over to friends' houses and, I got to get a picture. Are you that type of person? Or are you just like, I do that for a living, I'm going to stay away?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes I mostly annoy my family. Like, let's go take pictures.
you're
Let's go
supposed
do
to.
photos.
Yeah.
Let's go. And my kids are like rolling their eyes. They're like,
Yeah.
please, not another photo. But it's honestly almost more my husband, because we'll be driving by like
Oh, no.
the
yeah.
side of the road. I'm not even kidding you. We drove behind the dollar store the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, that brush looks beautiful. And he's like, oh my gosh, stop.
Have you ever thought about doing this? I know you do it professionally, but professionally, like having a gallery type thing and taking more artsy type pictures, and like at the art center, stuff like that.
I have not.
Would that be a unique challenge for you?
It would. It would be something different to do for sure. My brother does a little bit of that, but
Okay.
I mean, I've put some images up in galleries before, but of like a theme, like maternity up at QMG, stuff like that. But
Is there
not.
anything you're not doing now as a part of your business, and it may not be a part of your business, that you would like to tackle? Like go to Africa and shoot lion, something crazy like
Oh.
that.
My goodness. I don't know. I've always wanted to go to like Venice and Florence. Those would be pretty places to. The colorful buildings are really cool. I think I would enjoy shooting something more architectural, which is kind of weird. Maybe.
Why is that weird?
I think that's neat.
I mean, you live in a great community to do that.
I
honestly.
do. Yes, I do. But I think colorful places are great.
All right. Final couple of questions before we let you go. Tips for people who take pictures like at Christmas time and all that type of stuff. You probably get this all the time, don't you?
I don't get it all the time.
Seriously?
And I feel really bad because I don't have a lot of tips.
Oh, okay.
Like
people use their phones, I'm assuming, to take most of their holiday pictures. And
yes. Like clean your lens, because I know a lot of times my mom will take pictures of, or not even actually my mom. I know a lot of times my friends will take pictures of my kids and they'll send them to me and they're blurry. And I'm like, oh my gosh, all you had to do is like wipe your lens off real quick. Or like if someone hands me their phone to take a picture of them all at like a dinner, I immediately like wipe the lens and hand it to them. That sounds so weird, but it drives me crazy.
Well, what drives me is the people who take pictures and the people are so far away.
Yes.
Because they want to get the whole body